What is up, dude? This is Slayer, and I'm bringing guys a brand new Escape from Tarkov video. And in this video, we're gonna be going over what loot you can get in labs. And when I say what loot, I mean all of it, all the spawns I know of, up to date. Because I feel like there hasn't really been an up-to-date video with .12. So, without further ado, we're just gonna get into it. We spawned under, what is this? Under red. Right here you can get any type of drinks, so you should always look for sugars here, because those sell pretty nice in the flea market for about 50 or up. And also throughout this entire map, there seems to be spots on top of random tables and corners that Dfuels spawn in, and they actually spawn quite frequently, so make sure you're checking all these tops, all these boxes that you run by. Just keep an eye out for scattered loot like that. So since we spawned here, we're going to actually check all these first. Make sure you check all these bunches, because sugar can spawn everywhere and on these as well. Condensed milk can also spawn. Next to this vending machine, sugar spawns, condensed milk. And here there's a weapon box, but you know, that's some rat loot, you know. Ain't nobody need that. And we're going to run over to here. Right in front of this vending machine, there's even more spawns. Milk, sugar, condensed milk, yada yada. Under red, I like to call it safe room. You can look in here. There's condensed milk and sugar spawns, and you can look all around. There's a vodka right there, which I think sells for quite. I'm gonna take that. I'm an alcoholic, and this is what I like to call safe room. Now in here, you can find pretty much any food spawn as well. So you can find sugars, condensed milks. I believe I found an AK here before. And also right here I found a shotgun. There's an M870, I think. I'm not 100% sure. But I found it just standing here, so you know, if you're a total rat and you need a shotgun, you know, go for it. We got a file cabinet, but you know, rats loot that. Then there's a safe, a jacket, and a duffel bag. Definitely loot them. Safe, you can get any key in the game. Duffel bag, you know, you never know, you might get lucky, get a fuel conditioner, paracord, you know, yada yada. And safe, you get all that treasure loot. Now we're actually gonna make our way up to red, up these stairs. I like calling these red stairs because, you know, yeah, either red or safe stairs. And this bathroom right here and right in front of kitchen, this bathroom has scattered medical loot. Now of course it doesn't spawn anything, but there's some 7 in here, which sells for a pretty penny. You can find any medical item except Defibs or Ledx's, because those I have yet to spawn here. I feel like they possibly can, but there's no one to confirm it yet, and it hasn't spawned any of those two for me, so I don't think that's the case. Now next we're gonna actually head into red. Check out, you know, the red loot, because everyone loves red. You're going in here. Red is not the only thing that has loot. Check these cabinets right here. Well, these aren't really cabinets, but just check these. They have some medical items. You can find Stims. You can find almodomical scopes if you get lucky. CMSs, survival kits, any type of medical item. There's not Defibs or Ledx's. Running here, there's an intel spawn here, which I think, for me at least, is pretty common, as well as a green keycard that spawns right there. So that's definitely always worth checking. And right here, or on one of these tables, an MP7 has a chance to spawn, as well as loose ammo. So you might be able to find 7N or these type of ammos, which do sell for a pretty penny, and you can stack them up. Now we're gonna go in red, and we're gonna see what's inside. Alright boys, once you go in red, immediately on this table, and there's an Ledx spawn right there. Just kidding. Ha! There's an intel spawn though, so if you get lucky, you might get that one and the one right outside. So that's 2 intels from red alone. There's a lot of loose ammo. You can get lucky and get some 7N, and these ammos do stack up and are worth quite a bit. So you got 24 SPP already. And then in here, we got the closet, which the key goes for like 90,000. And this is where the real red loot is. As you can see, you can pretty much get any type of treasure item in the game here. Just no Ledx's. I'm not 100% sure if Defibs have a chance to spawn here. I personally have not found a Defib, so probably not. But you can find all types of things, from lions, badges, you know, roosters, cats, pro kills, skulls, gold chains. Pretty much any treasure item is found here. And that's a pretty good haul. And then you can also find medical items, as well as nice attachments. So you're definitely worth looking out for these attachments. You can find expensive suppressors. You should also look at these gun racks, as M4s and MP5s spawn here. And you know, profit is profit, right? Next, we're going to go in Violet. Alright boys, now that we're in Violet, you want to go to the left and immediately open his closet. And right here, you can find two RFIDs right here. They spawn next to each other. Or of course, you know, only one at a time. And then you can also find military transmitters. I think there's a spawn there and there. So you might be able to get lucky and get two of them. I've never gotten two of them personally, but I found two RFIDs and a transmitter. And then there's your usual loot, your weapon crates. These big green weapon crates are also worth looting, as they have a chance to give you an RR. So who the hell wouldn't pass up that opportunity? And then just look around for suppressors. This is an MP7 suppressor. This is 50k. That's a nice profit. Just look around. You might also find things like pro kills, bitcoins, gold chains, stuff like that around here, as along these attachments. Same with here. Usually a gold chain spawns for me there and on the table. So definitely worth looking at. And here you can find a VPX spawn. Just make sure to look at all these tables, all these outer edge tables, and then this middle table. There's some weapon spawns. There's M4 spawns. I've found MP7s here multiple times. And look right here for a VPX spawn. Here or here. So near any of the laptops, a VPX can spawn, and all around this table there are, I think there's an intel spawn over there and over here. Now next we're gonna go into what I call double office, which is across from Red. Now here you have a jacket to your immediate right, but we're not gonna loot that because we're casuals. And then to the left over here there is an intel spawn and some beautiful treasure. The intel spawns right on the table. And also some treasure can spawn here, so it's worth just checking all these cabinets on top of the tables over here and on top of the table. And then it is always worth checking this suitcase out, as there is a rare chance for you to receive an Ledx. I've gotten it twice now from here. Check this table for loose money. You can find rubles, dollars, euros, and I'm not sure if a keycard has a chance of spawning here, but it's mainly loose money. There's a bunch of PCs for you to loot if you want to be an ultimate rat, you know, get that graphic card. There's a duffel bag, you never know, you get that fuel conditioner. And with that, double office is complete. Now before going in here, right in front of the gym, down here under cat, there's another suitcase. This also has a chance to give you any rare item in the game, including a rare chance for Ledx. So I personally think it's definitely worth looting if you haven't already done so, if you're just running around the map trying to figure out what to loot. Before you go in though, right in front of conference, there are some rare loot spawns here. You can get a graphic card, VPXs, LCDs, you can get some nice computer parts or tech parts, you know? And once we go in, immediately to the left, or if you're going there to the right, on this front table, there's some loose change and an MPX spawn. Then if you run way to the back up table, there is an M4 spawn, like right here. And then right by this laptop, there is a VPX spawn. As well, in these lower tables, there is a chance for foods to spawn, which means there's a chance for sugar, things like sugar and condensed milk. So you should just look through all the tables and make sure you don't miss anything. We're gonna hit up down here first. This is what is called testing weapon area, and this key is fairly cheap. It's like 70k. I usually personally don't really loot this room, but it's definitely worth looting if you want to maximize your profit. You can get M4 spawns. You can get, I've seen 2 up to 3 M4s here at a time, so you can definitely get some nice stuff. You can get some nice suppressors, some nice sights, and you can, if you definitely have the space to loot this room, you might as well loot it. There's some boxes for more attachments and shit, and you really just should give it a shot. And then around here, right outside testing area, you should look around all these tables, as there are defuel spawns, fuel spawns, and most importantly, intel spawns. See, there's a defuel right there. I usually get an intel from right here, but it's worth just noting that they can spawn anywhere around here. Just look everywhere along these tables and make sure you don't miss it. And then right here, I like to call this the fuel conditioner spawn. I think everyone calls it that because it's honestly a pretty common chance to find a fuel conditioner which sells for 90k, as well as other items like this fire clean sells for 40, and you can find other stuff here like tool sets, defuels I'm sure spawn here, fuel, you know, just other random stuff. So right here at the VPX spawn, sweaty VPX, always search that. You should always look around here too. Sometimes you might find a VPX on the floor on top of these little crates. Always look here. There's a defuel spawn. There's a defuel spawn right there. There's a defuel spawn right there. Shroom loot isn't real, boys. Right here you should look. There's a tech spawn here, so you can get a VPX and a graphics card if you get lucky. Same here. You can look around here. You can look at graphic cards and goods tech spawns. You should look around here. You can also get a graphic card, and I usually find a defuel right here, so definitely make sure to keep your eye out for that. Right here on the floor is also a spawn for pretty much any item, so you can get defuel, fuel, you can get graphic card, VPX, so it's definitely worth noting. You should look along these boxes as items also spawn there. You should look here, as I always usually find a VPX up there or here or there. Come around. This is also a nice little hidden spawn that some people usually miss, honestly, because it's just kind of there, but this crate kind of hides it. But usually good stuff can spawn here. I've gotten a graphic card like 2 or 3 times, like hiding behind this box, so definitely worth checking. You can always look at this table because sometimes, rarely, tech might spawn here. You can get a graphic card from here. There's a defib right there. Around here is always worth checking. You can get defib there, you can get a defib there, and you can get a defib right there. An M4 spawns here. It's usually a shitty M4, but a good kitted one can spawn there too. Right here on this table, there's some loose change, and I'm not 100% sure if there's an intel spawns here. Oh, I'm blind as fuck. Yes, there is. So there's an insta spawn there, always worth checking. And down here, usually a drink always spawns, you know, so keep an eye on that hydration and that energy. Alright, now we're actually gonna go like into dome. When I'm here, I just call this whole thing dome. So if you check this table, there's yet another intel spawn here, as well as a black key card. A black key card goes for around 300,000, so that's definitely a nice find. And if you look here, there's an Rfid on top of this computer, as well as you can search the computer for a graphic card. Once you go into dome, make sure you look at on top of all these barrels, as there's an LEDX spawn, and it can spawn pretty much anywhere on top of all these barrels. Usually I've found it either there, I think there, or there, but check everywhere. And an old spawn used to be under this right here, which I don't think it spawns there anymore, but it's still always worth checking out. Now we're actually gonna go up to managers. This is a really risky room and area to loot, just like Cat over there, except this is more riskier because you're kind of a little bit more trapped, and if there's raiders out, this is just kind of suicide most of the time. But right here in this front desk, there is an intel spawn, as well as a weapon spawn. I think an FPX will spawn. As you can see, sometimes it falls to the floor, so I almost didn't catch that. But it spawns on the floor, so definitely worth checking. Just look everywhere here. And there's a green keycard spawn in managers. Now if you go in here, the green keycard has a chance to spawn right here. Sometimes it's yellow, it's a yellow keycard too, which is annoying to find because you think it's the green. But that still sells for like 30k, so that's still pretty good. And there's also an intel spawn on this table, so it's worth checking. Now we're gonna go into managers and actually look at the real managers loot. Oh yeah, booty. What the? Alright. Now we're in managers. There's a safe to loot where you can get the treasures. There's an M4 spawn. You should look all around. There's some weapon spawns. You can get an MP7 as well in here. And then right here along this table right here, and on the floor right here is where the treasure spawns. Now as you can see, we got a rooster, a raven, and a pro kill. Usually, there's usually 3 spawns. Sometimes you get unlucky, it could be 1, but usually you'll find good things here like bitcoins, you know, the pro kill. That's definitely worth a nice penny. As well as a computer and another computer. Risky to search, but hey, graphic cards, you know. Alright, next we're gonna head to Green. I'm under managers. So we're gonna run up these stairs and we're gonna go straight into Green. And Green is honestly one of my favorite rooms. I think it's the most consistent and profitable room, and it's definitely worth getting your hands on. As soon as you go in, right here to the right, always worth checking. Med spawns here, as well as right here along this table, med spawn, and a black keycard has a chance to spawn in here, so always check that out. Just check along all of these tables, and always worth checking these open little containers, as Ledx can spawn in the one over there, but I feel like this is worth checking out. If they ever update the movement of the Ledx, you should always check these things out. So we're gonna keep going along the wall right here, looking at all of this. All of these are med spawns. Along this table is med spawns. There's a box, and then right here on this paper, there's an intel spawn. And as well as around here, there's another intel spawn I've gone before. I haven't gotten in a long time, so I'm not sure if they removed it from the game, but it's definitely worth checking. Just look along the wall, look everywhere. These are all med spawns everywhere. Always worth checking this out too, as meds can spawn here and here. A lot of people miss this out. And apparently, I think an intel can spawn here, which is really rare. I only seen it once, and it usually does not spawn there for me, but it's definitely worth checking for that too. And right here is the famous Ledx spawn. You can either jump on the chair or just walk up to it and look in. Sadly, we didn't get it, but it's always worth checking. I've gotten it here probably 5 to 6 times. We're gonna keep looking, looting around the wall, look at these boxes. I'm sure a Dfuels has a chance of spawning on them. And over here is a Defibs spawn. As well as around here is another Defib spawn. And then over here is a medical item spawns, and Defibs can also spawn along this area right here. Now before we go into this room, right here on top of these books, there's yet another intel spawn. So what is that? There's at least 2 100% confirmed intel spawns here, but there's potential 4 intel spawns in this room. So you know, that's nutty. Now we're gonna go in here. This is Green office. And right here along this you can find meds. You can find meds here. These blue stims are always worth picking up. They're worth like 60 plus in the flea right now. They're insane. Always worth checking all around here. You might find some decent attachments, ammo, and in here you will always find a lunchbox. You can also find an M4 and MPX, not MPX, an MP7 spawn here, or an MP5 right here on this table. Alright, we're gonna go down these stairs, green stairs, and we're gonna get out on the first floor. Now right here we have server to the left and then black right here to the right. We're gonna go into black. Now you can unlock it from this way or those doors, but that doesn't really matter. So we're gonna go ahead and get in here. Now this room has a bunch of loose stim spawns, so it can be profitable at times, but sometimes it is not profitable at all. Check all this along the stairs and along the floor everywhere you go. Make sure to keep your eyes peeled, as sometimes they can be hidden in the light. That's 3 stims so far. Usually they spawn on top of here, so always check that. Check along the floor while you're walking. Around this box is usually stim spawns, on these chairs, along this floor, and on that bed. And then in here in the middle, on this bed, there's stim spawns, and then on the floor, and I think possibly on the floor behind the bed as well. Now we're gonna leave black, and we're gonna go to the right, back to this hallway, that's server, and we're gonna go all the way down the hall to blue. Alright, this is blue, and that's blue stairs. If that door is closed, then you can usually assume that someone might be in blue or has looted blue already. But that's another story. Now once you go in here, there can be a solid with spawn here and stuff, but these are just trash loot. The real loot is right here. You don't even need blue keycard. right here, there's a chance to get a green keycard, which is worth 1.7 mil at the moment. Oh, it is definitely worth getting your hands on. And as well as along here and on here, there's some Salawa and some, you know, medical junk spawns. Now we're gonna go in blue right now. Alright, this is blue. Now as soon as you come in, you can look here for dollars and loose money. You can go in here and look for loose change here. There's usually dollars, rubles, and euros here. And you can loot all along these tables for medical items. Now if you go in here, as soon as you go to the left, look at these little carts. On the bottom of this one, I believe it is, there's a possible Ledx spawn, so make sure you always check that. As well as all of these glorious stims. Up there, here on this bed. On all of these beds, including back here. Now on here, it's the same deal. There's a bunch of medical items. So make sure you check on top of this, all these sections of the cart on this bed and along this table right here. Alright, now that we're done with blue, we're actually going to run back that way and head to server. Alright, this is server right here. So we're going to head in here and look at the loot. Now right here on this share, there's a chance to get an Rfid to spawn for you. It's definitely always worth checking. And under these stairs right here, there's some attachment spawns on this box, as well as this weapon crate. So, you know, go full on rat. As you can see, there's some lookers in there. Now we're gonna go up into this office, and this is server office. Right here on this table, there's a chance to get this key to spawn for you, as it just did for me. This is the testing area key. This is not worth much, but it's worth a cool 70 to 75k, so it's definitely worth grabbing and checking for. You can also get sugar spawns, condensed milk spawns, all along here. Here you can get some nice ammo spawns. You should always look for BS or 7N. This weapon crate is some computers, and right here in front of this screen, to the right of this console, there is an Rfid spawn. And then if we keep going, on this table, there are nice attachment spawns, suppressors, scopes, yada yada. And over here, directly in front of this printer, there's a chance for an Ledx to spawn for you. And then you gotta loot that swag jacket right there. Alright, now that we're done with server, we're gonna think to ourselves, is there no more rooms to loot? Is that it? Is that all the loot that Labs has to offer? Haha, no! We're gonna be full on rats, and we're going downstairs. We're dropping down this chute. Now, just a heads up, if you don't know how to drop down here without breaking your legs, go from this side and run up the ladder or the stairs. If you do that correctly, you shouldn't break your legs. So, you know, power to the players. You can turn on medical from there. And once you go in here, we're just gonna look around. I'm just gonna run around and tell you guys where loot can be spawned. Now, you should always honestly look around the floor, because Dfuels spawns are just fucking everywhere. It's literally, it's crazy how common Dfuel is, and how expensive it is for how common it is. Also worth noting, right here, Dfuel can spawn, and it will be hidden under this white cloth, so you can't see it. So you should walk up to it and try to pick it up. Dfuel can spawn along these. In the bottom of these stairs, there's some random spawns, and Dfuel is one of them. So you can get Dfuel, Salawa, medical items. So you should always look along the bottom of the stairs and on top of this. Gonna hit the elevator. Well, pow! Running here, there's another Dfuel spawn right there. And we're gonna go into boiler room. This is boiler room right here, and there's a lot of Dfuels spawns in this single room, honestly. You can get it right here in this box. You should look along this, you can get it. If you go here, you can get it along these boxes. You can get it to spawn on the floor right there, or on the floor right here. And you should honestly look in all these corners on the floor for a possible Dfuel to spawn, even around here on the floor. Just look around for that bad boy, because he likes hiding. Now we're gonna run over to connector. Of course, if you see a box, you look at it, because you never know there's a Dfuel on it. Now in here, look at these boxes. There's a Dfuel spawn here. You should look along these boxes, as you can get Dfuel and fuel. Just look everywhere. More of the story of labs is just look absolutely everywhere for your loot. Now we're gonna go here. This is blue stair hallway, as this is blue. This is the bottom of blue stairs right here. And right here, there's yet another Dfuel spawn along these barrels. So make sure you look there. Make sure you look on the floor. Sometimes they might spawn a little off. Just look everywhere for it. And right here, there's Dfuel spawns. As well as similar to the other stairs in the bottom. With these stairs in the bottom here, there are also random loot spawns like that band-aid. But you can also find a Dfuel on the floor, so it's also worth noting and checking. As well as on these barrels, you should always check. Ooh, Salawa. Now we're gonna go up, and we're back at blue. But we're actually gonna loot the room next to blue. Now this room just has some loose medical items, but if you're really looting, you can get almodomical scopes here, so it's definitely just worth looking around. Look everywhere on the tables, look everywhere for that bad boy. I've gotten almodomical scopes probably 3 times off of this room. It's definitely worth checking. Now this is blue tents, and to the left, this right here is what I like to call manager key spawn, because there is a chance for the manager key to spawn. So immediately going in, I run to the right and check this table by the window. There's a key spawn right here. That key goes for 200,000 or a little bit over that, so it's definitely worth getting. As well as you can look everywhere along these tables and on the floor for sugar and condensed milk spawns. As you can see, there is a sugar condensed milk spawn there, but that's his piece. There's a bunch of PCs to loot in this room, so you might get a graphic card. And then look at these cabinets, as there's treasure spawns where that horse is, and all along it you can get gold chains, Bitcoin, stuff like that. And there's a jacket for them dank keys. Now something I forgot to note is that right next to dome, there's medical dome, which is the easiest and fastest way to call this room, or medical near dome, whatever you want to call it. But in here, there's some nice medical items. You can look around the floor right here, look along this whole table as well as the chairs, and keep an eye on the floor. And just look around, look in the sink, look everywhere here, so you can get them dank stims. And sometimes there's a chance for a defib to spawn here, so it's definitely worth checking.
Not bad.
Now we're actually gonna go upstairs here, and there's a dank Dfuel spawn here. Like I said, everywhere you see these type of crates or crates along the wall, always check on top of them for fuel and Dfuels. Now these rooms they're like breakable window offices. This is breakable window by Green, and this is breakable window by parking. Now in here, there's just a lot of spawns, so just look along all of the tables. You can get condensed milk, sugars. Right here, I usually always find sugar. And then there's a nice safe here to loot, as well as a duffel bag over here. A shit ton of computers for your graphic card needs. And then all of these cabinets are definitely worth checking, as they can have gold chains and treasure spawns. And there is an extra jacket that they threw in for you. Now we're gonna go into breakable parking office. Now same thing with the other one. Just look all the way around everywhere. There's a shit ton of computers. There's a bunch of tables, so you can get random scattered loot like sugars, condensed milks, etc. There's a duffel bag right there. There's a safe to loot right here. Another duffel bag, a jacket, and then right here, loose change like these dollars spawn. as well as a possible chance to get the manager key. So look around all this table. I think it spawns next to this laptop where those dollars were, but just make sure you look around everywhere and on the floor. And right here, there's also some treasure spawns on this cabinet and on top of the safe, as well as on these cabinets and on these cabinets. Now there's just so much loot around scattered, like that duffel bag and that duffel bag, but obviously I'm not gonna go over every specific duffel bag. You guys got the gist of you know what labs is, what labs loot is, and how it can be found. The few rooms that I'm actually gonna go through right now are these rooms, and these are above blue. You can just call them that, above blue. I don't really know what else to call these rooms, but these rooms have chances to spawn medical items, so you can get armor scopes and just extra meds. So they're definitely worth checking. Just run around, check all the beds, check all the carts, all the shares, as you can find hidden things like that. Just make sure you check absolutely everywhere. Same with these rooms. Check everywhere. There's also a loose change spawn right here. Just a little fun fact. But you thought we were done? No, no, sir. All the way at the top of blue stairs, directly in front of the stairs, there's this little area, which is definitely worth checking. There's a toolbox here, and you can always look here, find fuel, defuel. Here you can find fuel, defuel. And once you come in here you can also find fuel and defuel. Look along all these tables for medical items. And look along all of these cabinets for more medical items. Everywhere in this room. You can have a chance to get some extra stims and armor scopes right before you extract. If you really want to be a rat, you can go in the shower room too. There's a duffel bag right there, a jacket, and then in here I believe there is another duffel bag with weapon attachments scattered on the floor. Alright, now we're running all the way back down blue stairs. We're gonna take a right and we're just gonna head over to extraction. Remember, while you're running like this, make sure you're looking at all the barrels and boxes you pass, as Dfuels spawn literally everywhere. Why are they 70k? Nikita, why? And with that, we are gonna leave through the medical block elevator, which is turned on over there on the drop down from server. I hope you guys found this loot guide helpful, and I really hope you enjoyed it, and leave a like and maybe subscribe and share with your friends, and I really hope this was a big help to you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.